Philosophy studies the nature of knowledge, health, reality, and existence. Psychology studies the human mind and its functions, especially those relating to behavior. They are two very different fields of study, with some but very little overlap. I think those two come hand in hand. I feel that if we want to understand better, to have a more complete knowledge of life, we should combine those two, philosophy and psychology. Each one of them alone is not enough. I've mentioned before that I've been going to therapy for many years. On and off, different ones, depending on where I was. And the last 4, 5, 6 years, it's been one psychotherapist that I went to, the one that I was waiting on in line for. I was on the waiting list for 1 year, and because of the fact that I didn't want to change and start over again with a new one, I started searching for other ways to help myself, and this is how I came across the YouTube community about on the subject of narcissism, which actually had helped me in shorter time, much more than any therapist ever did. Like I said in another video, therapy helps you, but it helps you for a while. Therapy it helps you for a little while, and then problems start again, and again it's a different matter. You have to find another way to solve it. Whereas philosophy is a kind of, once you decide what philosophy you're going to follow, what philosophy sticks with you, then it's for a longer period. It becomes part of you, becomes part of your way of thinking. And why is that? That's because philosophy is about everything around you, whereas psychology is like totally personal feelings, thoughts, experiences depend on so many things that it keeps on changing. I don't know if I can make my point there, if I make a point there, but 2 days ago I went to my therapist, and I got out of there more confused when I thought I had it all figured out, and I went in there and I came out confused. I came out confused because why? Because she was trying to make me say or accept that I have other feelings besides anger, sadness, and feelings of betrayal, feelings of deception, anyway, bad feelings towards my mother. She was trying to bring out of me good feelings, and there are no good feelings. mean, it was very funny because she was trying to say, you're taking care of her because... Why do you think you're taking care of her? Why are you taking care of her? Why are you bothering to try and understand the way she thinks, the way she acts, the way she reacts, to understand her? If you don't care? I said, I'm not... If you don't love her. Was her exact words was, if you don't love her. I said, I'm trying to understand that person so as to excuse what she's been doing to me. To find to explain why I am the way I am. Why am I feeling angry? Why I'm feeling sad? Why I'm feeling disappointed? Disappointed is not the word. It's not the word I used. No, disappointed is not. Why I'm feeling why am I troubled anyway? Because of how this person treats me. So by understanding her, it helps me. And when I mean understanding her, don't mean accepting her. By understanding how she works, how she manipulates, what are her aims when she's being nice, when she's being that. By understanding her mechanism, I can protect myself. And also it's easier for me to say, okay, this is a sick woman. You don't have to hope anymore that she's going to change or she's going to become a good mother. You don't have to expect from her any changes. So it's easier for me. But still, she was insisting on getting out of me those good feelings I have for my mother. I said, I don't have any. Oh, you must love her. No, I don't. How can you love somebody? So I was trying to explain to her, and I don't know if these people haven't been through any of that shit, so they don't understand, or what? Why is it so complicated to understand that I don't accept, and I won't tell you that I love my mother, because I cannot wish somebody's death and say I love them. That doesn't go together, those two things. The only reason that I'm taking care of her, or I take her to the doctors, or whatever, see if she needs anything, is because this kind of person didn't teach you from when you were a child what love is. They didn't teach you what caring is. They didn't teach you what compassion is, but they really managed to teach you well a sense of what was that word? Of owing them your life, owing them respect, owing them care. But they're all false. They don't come from a good feeling. They just come because you are so these people, they kind of teach you as main factor. The main thing they teach you is the sense of obligation. You're obliged to them. You know, you owe them. You owe them your life. You owe them your thoughts. You owe them your feelings. You owe them everything. You owe them to entertain them. You owe them to put up with their shit. So it's a sense of obligation. So I was trying to explain to my therapist that everything I do doesn't come from a caring side of me. It doesn't. I don't care about this person I feel sad like I would, just as much as I would for, I mean, I'm sure that if I see an old lady crying on a bench, I would go because and see how what's wrong, what's up, what's happened. I would do that because it's that sense of compassion towards somebody else, whoever that is. Doesn't mean I love that lady who's sitting on the bench. I have compassion and a sense of obligation to myself, obligation that this is the human thing to do. This is automatically, this is a normal reaction. This is my obligation as a human being. Okay, of course there's a little feeling, there's compassion, there's I don't have anything to earn from going and seeing what's wrong with that old lady crying, okay? It's the same thing with my parent, with my... So in a way, these narcissists in our life, they did teach us something, right? They taught us to have a sense of obligation towards other human beings. But there's no love in there. You can't say that you love that person. I don't love the person that that falls in front of me in the street and I will go and help them up. I don't love that person. I feel for them, but I don't love them. So anyway, and she was trying to make me share with her some happy moments I've had with my mother, and I said I haven't. I don't have anything to share with you. Oh, she said, oh, come on, you must have, you're 50, you must have, your whole life moments where you felt good and you felt nice. Yes, I did, but knowing what I know now, they've disappeared. I mean, even in a period of time where my mother was very nice to me, I didn't know enough to know that at the same time, I was like only looking at how nice she is with me, but I was not paying attention really to how at the same time she was uplifting me and demeaning my sister, because I didn't know how they use it. I didn't know that this was a tactique, that uplifting me was not really true. She was only doing that because she wanted me against my sister, and it was convenient for her to separate us as siblings and not have us have a relationship between us. So she could use us separately. But years later, when I learned that at the same time she was uplifting me and demeaning my sister, she was demeaning me to my sister and uplifting her. So now that I know that, how can I think of this as a happy moment? It's not anymore in my memory. It's erased. It's gone. It's erased. A year ago, when I told her that I had a fight with a neighbor, and I don't know why I told her, but this is what the therapist was trying to tell me. She was trying to make me believe that the reason I told my mother it was because I wanted her to support me, to take my side, or to feel proud of me. No, I didn't, because this is why I found it strange. When I told my mother that I had a fight with a neighbor, a girl who was younger than me, we got into a fight. I went and asked her, what's happening with her dogs. Her dogs were barking all day long. They wouldn't stop, all night, all day long, constantly. And these dogs were always alone. And, I went in a nice way to tell her, there's something wrong with your dogs, maybe you should take them out. Maybe you don't take them out enough, or they don't seem satisfied. That's why they're barking all the time. And she got offended. she got offended, like, she just divorced, 2 kids, 2 dogs, and she probably thought, who are you to come and criticize me and tell me that I don't take care of my dogs, which is normal in her condition to react like this. But it did turn out into a fight because she just like kind of, what do you want me to do to put them, that thing they put on the dog's mouth so that they don't bark and don't bother you. So, but it's not me only, it's a constant. And, maybe go on YouTube. There's some videos of how to train your dogs and all that, or take them out for walks. And even though she did react after that, she did start taking them out for walks, and the dog stopped barking. But at that point, anyway, we got into a kind of, she got into the defensive, I got more annoyed, and I told her, okay, well, you have to do something. I have a dog too, and he's not crazy like that, it's a responsibility. You take a dog, you have to take him 2-3 times a day for a walk. Anyway, the point is that I was feeling bad about that because I don't like getting into fights. My mother knows that. So I don't know really. I think it was a matter of saying something because I don't have a lot of things to have a conversation with this woman. So, and to inform her, because she knew that girl, that neighbor. So anyway, but I did tell her. And her reaction was like, she came to me and she said, I said I had a fight with her and I told her about the dogs and all that. For me, it's very difficult to complain to other people about something. And she knows that. She came to me, she said, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you for sticking up for your rights. Something like that. And I was like, I didn't expect it. All this kind of this was not the kind of this was not the reason I was telling her the story, to get this kind of encouragement. And I was like, what? I would have actually preferred her to say like, ooh, I hope you were not rude or something. That would have been more normal for me. Or yeah, I hope you didn't lose control. Oh, that's okay. Next time you see her, just apologize or whatever. Something else, but not this. I'm proud of you for having a go at somebody. Crazy. So even that reaction, could have been a compliment, like something you want to hear from your mother. I'm proud of you. But knowing that for her, that I gave her satisfaction because I had a fight with somebody, because at that moment she felt like I'm like her, and good for you, now you've got an enemy too, kind of. How can I find this a nice moment? How can I find this something nice? My mother told me. It was not coming from her. And not the reason why she was giving it to me, that compliment, Compliment. That validation the validation was not correct. Yeah, it's not validation. That's not validation. What can I remember? I can't remember anything. Nice. I can't remember a nice moment with this woman. I can't remember a nice feeling. Yeah, maybe when I was 7, once she played with us. She was running after us as to catch us. What do you call this game when you run after somebody? Run and I'll catch you, kind of thing. It was kind of hide and seek and running after her. Once in our life she played. I must have been 7 years old or something. And yeah, this I remember, that was so nice and so rare, and it was a moment, that's all. But does that make me, could that make me love my mother? No. Could that make me care for my mother in a nice way? No. No. And she confused me. That the therapist confused me. I went out of there and was like, I just felt like I was laughing. I left there laughing, and she said, "I'm glad I made you laugh." At that point, I found it funny, that she was trying to convince me, or to make me say that I had nice feelings for my mother when I didn't have any. I didn't have any. So I was wondering, how come I got more help from YouTube community, narcissist community, narcissism community, more why does it still help me? Even the problems have helped me, because it helped me see myself in others, see what I don't like of myself in others, and so being able to correct those things or to work on those things. And this is the help I get. This is for me getting somewhere. I can't explain it. I can't explain it at all. It's analyzing, and the philosophy you choose to follow. You the philosophy that stands with you. I mean, it's about analyzing the general life in general, and other people's behavior and all this. That you start to realize, and you can put a finger on things. Oh, this behavior I don't like. Do I have this behavior? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Or sometimes I do. So okay, let's try and eliminate those behaviors, because those are behaviors that make me feel bad. It's all about our behaviors that we either feel good or bad. Trying to the feelings. Oh, it's complicated. I don't know if anybody has understood that and has made that clear in their minds. Please do comment and try and help me out. Put this in order. But it's weird. It's weird, and I always was the type. My husband, he's a philosopher. Okay. And all these years I was trying to tell him, philosophy. Point me out one philosopher who's not a hash or drug addict or whatever. Point me out a philosopher that did something except come out with good ideas. And philosophy is for bums. For lazy bums, I was kind of thinking like this, and now I've discovered that philosophy has a greater meaning, and is just as helpful as psychology. They need to go together. You need to have a little bit of both. Because what's a philosopher if he can analyze the whole logics of the world, and he can't analyze himself? It's and he can't understand the psychology of human beings. They need to go together. That's all. They need to go to those two need to go together. So, little confusing thoughts there. Still don't have it all figured out. Working on that. It's just gonna come out like this one day. But I'm seriously thinking of stopping therapy, because I feel it's not It's not helping me really. And next time I'll go there. I will go the next time I have an appointment. Next time I will go there, I will just talk straight to her. I'm going to say, look, this is not going to get us anywhere if you don't accept that it is possible not to love a person, yet to give them care. It is possible. That's all. I am never gonna accept that I love my mother because simply I don't. I don't love her. Maybe I did to a certain point. Maybe I did as long as there was hope that she would change in me. That I was believing that hope, not that there was hope. As long as I hoped that she could change, then I could love the person that she would be, or she could be. But now that I know that there's no hope for her to change, and I don't hope anymore in getting validation from her, and I don't hope anymore of her accepting me for what I am, I feel that I am one step forward. So don't fucking try and get me back into the, mixed feelings I used to have, because now they're not mixed feelings anymore. They're like, it's crystal clear. I don't expect anything from that person. I don't expect them to change. I don't expect anything good coming out of them. And I don't expect them to accept me anymore. And that's great. That's a good point I am at. I don't need or want to go back to where I was. It's clear because now it doesn't hurt anymore. And the deception you get every time you hope for something and it's not happening, and you're proven that you're wrong to hope in it, that deception, that pain, it's not worth going back. I mean, I don't want to go back. I'm fine. I'm great where I am. It doesn't hurt anymore. Now I can laugh about it, and now I can... This is the way it is. This is a sick woman. This is... I've tried to understand how it works in her mind, what she must have been through. I mean, I've even worked my understanding and my compassion, but that's the end of it. It goes there. Any compassion for that person from now on, it's a normal human compassion that I could have for any stranger. It's not because she's my mother that she's gonna get more, that I'm gonna involve love in this. Love is gone. There's no love. She gave birth to me, and that's it. She couldn't give me love. She didn't teach me love. I had to learn that on my own. And the more I pretending that I love her is not going to get me anywhere at all. It doesn't make me a mean person not to love my mother. It doesn't make me a horrible, terrible person not to love my mother. She doesn't deserve my love. Love is something that is inspiring. You're inspired to love somebody. You're inspired, and she doesn't inspire me to love her. That clear? Don't know. Just needed to get it out there. And like I say, by listening other people who have a different or have worked it out better, it would help me. It does help. Thank you for listening.